Hold on. There you go.
I'm just gonna see if I can get.
Oh, there he is.
This. I'm gonna put the sound back on the speakers.
Yes. Okay.
'Cause I think with this we can actually.
You
Yeah,
get- You hear me now, Evan?
yeah, I can hear you. Are you getting any echo?
No, you're fine.
Great, yeah. So I realized Discord can do that. I can hear you're coming out of my speakers. So I don't need to wear headphones. So it's and for some reason, they've got the technology that makes sure that you.
We'll get through that later. Don't worry. But it's clear, loud and clear, no echoing, so you're fine. So everybody, Evan Sabba, welcome, Evan Sabba in.
Hey, how you doing?
Everybody.
I'm already on. Am I
Twitch.
too loud?
No, you're fine. You're perfectly fine. I gave you my Twitch link. Give me a second. I'll resend it to you.
Twitch too?
Yes, Twitch.
You can see your stream, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
You can see chat actually because they are gonna be asking a few things for you.
That's important, yeah.
Yeah. All right, there you go. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my game with you so you can see that in real time. Okay.
Well, I've seen nothing so far.
Yeah. You will in a minute. Okay.
Like my shirt?
You should be able to see my game now. Can you see it?
I see your game, yeah. I see
Ah,
your game
okay.
there.
All right, it's muted. I'll have some audio in a second. And boom. Thank you for the raid, Amber. Okay, everybody. Evan Sabba. Let me give you
I still
another.
have your Twitch. Where's your Twitch?
I sent you my Twitch on Instagram.
On Instagram. Oh man,
Yes.
you're using so many different.
I am.
apps
I
and
apologize. You have no idea the struggle I dealt with about an hour ago for pulling
You
this
struggled?
thing right.
technology. Okay, just so everybody knows, apparently somebody called me and my boomer tech.
Who did?
It's all boomer tech. That's what
Who
all
did?
this is.
Who did?
I'm not a boomer though. I'm Generation
No.
X.
You're
But
not.
you
You're
called me
not.
boomer tech already. And I'm
Who?
I'm pretty savvy with technology. I'm pretty good. And Kemi can tell you that.
How disrespectful.
Anyone
Yeah.
understands me, but
I can confirm that. Yeah. No, they can hear you.
Kemi. Anyway, so Kemi's the one that helps me out. You're my tech advisor.
I am
So-
just waving in
shocked.
victory. Yeah. All right.
I'm shocked.
Keep
I'm
it
shocked.
up.
Okay, I'm in Twitch now. Okay, hold on.
Yes. Okay. So,
So I can see the chat.
yes. All right. Chat. Go crazy again because Evan's here. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody. For those of you who don't know, welcome in. This is Kemi.
Hold on a second. I gotta mute. I gotta, yeah, okay.
Yes. All right. The man is Brad Vickers himself. So he's the actor who voiced Brad Vickers back in Resident Evil 3 Nemesis in 1999. This is the OG Brad Vickers, everybody. This is the very first one. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
you guys can ask Evan questions related to the game and what is he up to. In fact, if you go in chat !Brad, that should direct you towards all of his socials. You have YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. You get to follow Evan everywhere. So yeah, Evan, welcome in.
Thank you.
How has it going?
Good. Hello, everyone. Everyone is. Hey, Brad, JL, how you doing?
Yeah,
Fox Houndcat. Fox Houndcat. How
yeah.
you doing?
All of the
I
buddies are
didn't know
here.
Fox Hound followed you. That's great.
Oh, you know her?
Well, I follow her on Instagram,
Ah.
and I follow a bunch of people.
Yeah.
and all for various different reasons. I like a lot of artists,
Uh-huh.
so I follow a lot of artists. I like people who kind of treat their own life like an artist, you know. So
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
that's why I found Fox Houndcat was quite fun with her changing of her attire all the time.
She does. She does. She's always
Awesome,
posting.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I thought that was very creative foxhound.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
And so I just follow lots of different kinds of people. It's not always about Resident Evil, obviously. I'm an actor of a broad range. I don't really I did this voice work back 22 years ago.
I know.
So for me, it's a surprise that people even remember or even care.
We cherish so much this series, Evan. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe the power, the energy this series has for us. So, because the series keeps going, right? It's 2021. The latest RE title that came out so far was RE Village. Great game, you know, but it's different now. It's like first-person shooters, more action-related, auto savings. Everything's changed. Some people like it. Yeah, some people like it, some people don't. You know, that's fine. Everybody has their own opinions. Thing is, back in the day, when it was back in the PlayStation 1, right, the very roots of these series, we were all dealing with the sort of horror these games had. So we were like 10 years old, 11, I was 10, I think. So the exposure we dealt with when seeing, let's talk about your character, right? Brad, as we saw the first encounter with Nemesis, right? At the RPG entrance, when you have Brad being killed by Nemesis, that image was so shocking for a lot of us that we grew up in fear with Nemesis, right? And as years go by, you end up gaming the games constantly over and again and again, and then you end up falling for the character. So you end up liking the enemy, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's how it is. Can you tell us about your gaming experience with the title?
Well, my game experience, I think, started probably before a lot of people's. If they're getting to Resident Evil 3 when they're 10. I've been playing video games. I'm a gamer.
Yes.
Like I've been a gamer, I guess, since video games came out. But I think I was in the arcades before even video games came into the arcades, to be honest.
Yeah.
So we were playing pinball and a variety of other games that the arcade would provide. But when the first arcade came in, the first video game came into the arcade, rather, it was a spellbinding moment, and people literally were crowding around the unit, and it's because for the first time ever there was a TV in an arcade.
Right. Yeah.
It was a standing TV.
Yeah.
And it had a joystick and a button, and I think it was Space Invaders was my first.
Okay.
The first game in the arcade, and people smoking in the arcades. It was a lot different scene, man. It was like, especially I live in Toronto, Canada, so I guess we all have our different environments, but. We have like a major street called Yonge Street, and Yonge Street is actually the longest street in the entire world.
Wow.
But it starts at the base of Toronto.
Wow.
Like right down by the harbor front of Toronto, and then Yonge Street, it turns into a Highway 11, but it's still Yonge Street. It's still the same connected street, and it goes all the way up north, from Toronto all the way up north to like the Bay, Hudson Bay or something like that. So it's ridiculously long, the world's longest street. But it was also, the biggest downtown street, obviously, and we had really huge arcades in them, and on that street. And when I was growing up, I grew up downtown, and I just would often go just walking by. The arcade doors were always open, and you just walk in. There's like games everywhere, just like everyone's kind of experience with it. I went like a big arcade, but this was Toronto, Canada, so it was kind of really. Kind of boring and waspish area, so it's kind of interesting that like the arcade kind of had more of the seedy elements of the city you know what I mean, like the darkness. Everyone went there for more of an edgy experience of life.
I know.
And so it was a lot of fun. So I played video games from the beginning, and then I was always marking how video games were changing, how exciting it was. And then one year, of course, the PlayStation came out. I think I had just bought an Atari Jaguar because that was going to be the newest game system that came out, and it was from Atari, and I played Atari when I was growing up, and so I was like, oh my god, Jaguar's got to be the best. It was not the best. It's not the best at all. But then quickly after, the PlayStation came out, and I was pretty saddened by my purchase, so I traded it in the Jaguar, bought the PlayStation, and then journeyed on with that. And the games coming out were like interesting and good, but when Resident Evil came out, it was a completely different game from when I was playing in the arcades. Completely different game from when it was kind of a sort of like a revolutionary game in some ways, because it combined so many different things, but it also was really trying to grasp horror, which is for anybody who likes a good horror movie.
We all do, I'm sure.
We all do, and it's been going on for a long. Horror movies have been going on forever, but it was never represented in games. Right?
That's actually true.
Yeah, there's no game that like there were games that were scary maybe for you to play because you die and stuff like that, but there was no element of suspense, and there's also no element, I think, of crafting. I think someone could have come up with the idea of combining things to make other things happen, but
the theory is combining two different genres.
Yeah, so like you got crafting, you had suspense. Not only that, but the fixed camera angles were a representation of film angles. And I don't know if people recognize a lot of the film angles, but I'm sure Hitchcock is probably influential there. And there's a bunch of other film angles that or camera frames that are very interesting that kind of gave people that sense of a true horror film. You know what I mean? Like they would get that, like sometimes the angles and the way a camera is locked is done specifically by a director, you know, because the frame is what everything gets captured in the frame. That's it. So it's the director. That's how they tell the story, is by setting up the frame. So the frame is extremely important.
This is something I don't know. Did you motion capture, Brad, or was just the voice acting?
Yeah, we were before motion capture. Again, this is like this came out on the PlayStation 1, and there was no motion capturing.
The reason, true. But the reason I'm asking is there are some content out there you get to find it on YouTube, which is basically, I'm not really sure what it is, to be honest. But I remember seeing, so for example, RE2, it starts with Leon scenario, right? You have Leon, it's by his Jeep, and it's like shooting a few zombies down. And there's like this video of these actors like recreating or something that scene. So that's when I'm not sure if that's motion capture or what's that thing all about. Back in the day, right? Because you know that nowadays it is motion capture, you know that.
But nowadays motion capture. Back then, I don't think they did that. If they had done anything like that, it was kind of experimental, I would imagine.
Okay.
And
how would it look like? Kind of deal.
I really don't know. I'm really not sure, but I think still back in the day, a lot of the video game stuff was due to just animation, classic animation, like knowing their anatomy, knowing their bone structures, and just animating really well. People forget that animators are, you know, they kind of step out of their own bodies. And
absolutely.
Place themselves inside their artwork, and so you kind of have an idea how things move and stuff like that. But motion capture didn't come until much later. We just did our voice work. It was we did voice work in studios, and we did them by ourselves. So we didn't have any other actors to work off of. It was just us in the studio, fairly big studio, like a big size studio, like a big band could be playing in there at the same time.
Was it Japan, Evan? Was it Japan?
What's that?
Was it Japan?
In Japan? No,
yeah.
No.
Oh,
the Japanese came to Canada because we had the cheapest talent.
Okay.
That's basically why they came here. Not the cheapest talent. That's I'm joking about that. What they had though was the cheapest commerce, right? Okay. So our dollar was much cheaper than going to the United States.
Makes sense.
So they just went to Canada, and they knew that we had a lot of good actors here, especially in the voice department. So they didn't have any problem finding the voice talent here in Canada, and it was probably cheaper for them. So that's why Canada got the big break at first.
Okay, well that's great to know. Yeah, because again, as far as resources go, when you do your research, you would see like, you know, Capcom is a Japanese company, right? And that's why I would believe that it always is happening there in Japan when it comes to recording and shooting stuff, but apparently it's not.
That's not the case.
Okay, it's not the case. All right, well that's good to know. I didn't know.
I imagine that's the case when they're doing the Japanese audio for the Japanese games, it's like because you know there's Biohazard and there's Resident Evil. Biohazard was done by the Japanese actors. That was probably done in Japan.
Right, but so that happened. So
actors, they didn't have any there.
Yeah, but nowadays RE titles do have a lot of dubbing. You have a lot of languages. You have Spanish, German, Russian.
Right. So those would be voice actors from all those different countries.
Right. No, right. But the thing is, back then, even though it was split into Biohazard and Resident Evil, depending on the region, the voice acting was always English. So there isn't a voice dub version for Nemesis, for example. You know what I mean? Like it was always the English audio.
Was it really?
Yes. What would change were the titles. Yes. So you have the Biohazard title. Yeah. You would have, it was menu, the titles, the features, the whole game was in Japanese, but the audio came out in English with Japanese subtitles. Yes, it's how it was.
You're saying my voice was the acting done in Japan?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Matter of fact, you know how? Yeah.
Wow.
You know how speedrunners nowadays are using when it comes to RE3 Nemesis? They're using the Taiwanese version because it's faster.
I think so. I don't know. Maybe I have that. Someone gave me a version.
Yeah. The thing is, even in that version, which is the one speedrunners use, it's got English audio. The entire menu script, all of it is Japanese or Taiwanese, but the audio is English. So yeah, back in the day it was English only when it comes to audio.
Wow, so that means I thought my performance was only going to be in the English speaking. This is the thing, I didn't understand. I thought because there was an English dub, that there'd be dubs everywhere in all different languages. I didn't
Yeah,
know
that's the case
that
now.
I have thousands and thousands of people who love my
You do.
performance in Brazil.
Well, you now get the fact why your character belongs to you, for us, and that's why we are here with you today. If that makes sense. So yeah.
It's pretty amazing to me. It blows my mind, but I didn't know that as a fact. That's interesting, Kemik. That's cool. Thank you. Now I know I can talk to any Japanese person and they would still know me.
Yeah. So Evie here says, I don't think they started hiring non-English voice actors for the franchise until the recent remakes, and that's true. Yes.
Wow, I had no idea. That's very fascinating. Cool.
Yes, absolutely. So, well, what I want to do today is, of course, I want to get through the game. We're going to go through your acting scenes, which are 2, but we're going to talk about those, and we are going to read out loud questions chat may have for you. In fact, I just saw 2, which I skipped real quick. I'll scroll back real quick.
There's a lot of questions, I think, you guys go back because I missed it.
I am on it. So I had Nicole asking you. Let me see if I can find it. I mean, from now on, guys, I'll try and reach. All right, here. So, no, this is another thing. Sorry. Where are you, Nicole? I lost your question. Here. Nicole says, if Capcom bring Brad back for any future Resident Evil games, would you voice him again? I think that depends on Capcom, right?
Let me see. Would I want to be paid money?
Yeah. Don't we all? Yeah.
That's the answer, really. That's the answer, isn't it?
No,
would I want to be paid money? Yeah, I would love to get paid money. No, would I love to reprise the role of Brad? Yeah, I would. Of course. I think any actor would be like, yeah, absolutely.
A Jill sandwich
when
cheered
they offered
with
Dr.
200
Octopus his role, and
I know, right?
Technology to de-age you and all that. Do you think he was like, nah, I'm too old for that now?
One question.
Like, oh my God, this might be my last paycheck.
I know. Yeah, they don't want to do it ever again. Like, no.
Yeah,
like,
as an actor. Yeah, as an actor, like looking at a horse in the gift mouth, or you know what I'm talking about. Looking at a gift. Yeah, you can't do that. If there's someone who's like going, well, we think you'd be awesome in this new game as Brad Vickers again. Would you like to reprise your role? I'd be like, yeah. Where do I sign? Do I sign it? I'll sign right now.
No, absolutely. That makes sense. One question I have of my own is because I minimized this here. I want to break everything. I was struggling before going live, so let me get everything right and clean and clear. Where are you? Don't believe it, do this to me. All right, here we go. All right. How? Because I'm assuming you had an agent. Is that how it works? I have no idea. Just making guesses. Okay. So how was it that you got the role for Brad?
Well, through my agent, really. It was because I was doing not too bad booking gigs here and there. I think I was in Rome filming a music video with Alanis Morissette, and so I was kind of like on one casting director's sort of favorite scale. I guess she liked me a lot. And like I said, the Japanese came into Toronto. I had just also booked, I think, 1 or 2 voice gigs. I was not doing too bad in the voice department either. So I just got sent out for an audition. And normally you don't get sent out for auditions without a demo tape. So usually you have to have a demo tape. But because I had done some work already, I think the casting director, who was, the Japanese hired the casting director. The casting director tells all the agents in the city who they'd like to see.
Okay.
And then you go in and you audition for the casting director, right? So your agent isn't really like he's just representing you, and he does the negotiation, or she does the negotiation of your monies. But it's the casting director who brings in the actors, whether they may go, no, I don't want to see him. No, I don't want to see him. Oh yes, I want to see her. Right. And that's just the agents suggesting their clients, oh, if you want a good young voice, see Evan, see this guy, see this person. So the agent's just recommending, casting director makes a decision, they bring you in, you audition, and it was the same thing. It was in the studio with glass in front of you, and you're inside a sound room, and there was like the producers and the casting director are sitting out in the couches there. And you do your audition, and I can't even remember if I auditioned for Brad. To be honest, I don't know. I can't remember. It's so long ago. It was 22 years ago. I don't know if my script that I was auditioning with was Brad. It could have been that I was auditioning for any number of the men that were in the game.
Okay.
But
Nikolai, can you
upon
imagine?
hearing my voice,
Yeah.
upon hearing my voice, and perhaps upon hearing that one particular performance of Brad, they knew I was a screamer. Like I'm a Jamie Lee Curtis, I guess. They just that's what they thought.
Yeah. Can you, Evan? Can
They
you?
wanted a good Jamie Lee Curtis performance. Although I gave a Bill Paxton performance, I think.
Evan, quick question. Can you? So, are you seeing chat right now?
I'm seeing chat. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through it.
Yeah. Can you see the question Jill Sandwich just did? Can you get back to her?
Which one? Down at the very bottom?
Yeah, yeah. It just happened. She said, "Wait, something else." You see that?
Really? No, yeah. I don't. I'm at the very bottom of the chat. I don't see. Okay. I see. Yes, it is. AKA Country. Wait.
Here,
is this OG Brad?
Before that.
OG Brad.
Yeah. She was like, "Wait, is this OG Brad? Are you Evan?"
Me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah. She's surprised. Yeah. Okay. I love you. She says. Okay.
Right. Stars members. I can't do it now because if I do it now.
No, we need you. We need you to do it. Come on, Evan. Yes, please. All right. We'll get there.
I don't even know the script anymore. You don't have to write it out. Someone write out this.
Yeah. We'll get there anyway.
Chat and
I'll all right. You're about to make your first appearance in this game, so it's just you sprinting out this basement room. So this is gonna open up, and you're gonna be all brave.
Yeah,
and
no,
I
run out of here. I ran
away.
Here.
You
faster than anyone can run in Resident Evil. There's no other character that can run that fast. Look at that.
And everyone's gone. Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Okay.
I'm the fastest person in Resident Evil. Bar gun. Which is weird why I got killed. What is... Okay, Foxhound Cat, she asked a question here too. How was my Russian accent?
There you go.
You know what? Okay, here's the thing. I went to theater school. I went to actually school for acting. I spent 3 years there. And in the program of... we had an extensive dialogue and speech. I guess part of the schooling. I don't know what to call it. Speech class. Let's just call it speech class. And we had speech class like I think maybe 2 days of the 7-day weeks. So it was quite a lot. And originally it was all just to get our tongues and our mouths strong and to find a neutral sound, because you can't quite do accents if you already have an accent. Does that make sense? If you already have an accent, you can't do accents really. So you have to eliminate your accent.
And
you have to strengthen your mouth and your tongue, your lips and your tongue, your muscles. You have to strengthen these things as tools. And then you will, once you get to a neutral sound, according to your teacher, you can then you start using what's called phonetics. And phonetics are, you can find them in some dictionaries. It's a whole other alphabet specifically designed to represent sounds. That make sense?
Is that the IPA?
What's that?
Is that the IPA, International Phonetics Alphabet? Because that's what I'm an English teacher, right? And that's something similar to what I use for teaching phonetics to Spanish speakers. So the IPA system is like it's got the phonemes, right? Instead of characters. Is that what you mean? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not English. It's not any language.
Yeah.
It's phonetic language. Yeah. So the phonetics have their own language, and it's not even its own language. They're all just sounds. So you have your diphthongs, your triphthongs, and you got your your consonants, your vowels, and all these things. So we would study it all, and so you'd find the neutral base of a language, and they call it Mid-Atlantic or something like that, or North American classical speech for the stage. That's what she called it. Our speech teacher, Dorothy Ward. And you essentially learn a neutral base. You study the phonetic language, and you find the neutral phonetic language, and then from there, you can make the slight adjustments phonetically where you would need to make it phonetic changes in the dialogue. So you would have your text, and then above it, you'd have your phonetic changes.
Okay.
So for Irish, if you would say water, which is water, the Irish would say water. So you'd have to have like a th sound somewhere, and that would be a symbol. And so you would change the hard t from a water to a water. And so you would learn that way, where you would just make the slight adjustments, but by using the phonetic changes. So then now you're reading the word. You're reading it only in phonetics, and that changes your way of saying it. So Russian is achievable. I'm not saying I'm good at it.
No.
I'm not saying good at it, but it's achievable. For me, I would have to spend probably a week, and I would probably want to spend some time with a speech coach to get a good Russian going. But because when I was much younger, I looked
I was
Russian
gonna ask you that. How old were you when you voiced Brad? Because Brad was 35 here. He was, he wasn't that young.
Yeah, no, I was maybe about 24, 25.
So you were younger than Brad was. Okay. So before we're about to see Brad scene in the bar, but before we get that, I have a few questions here. So my buddy Chris asked, Evan, were there any lines that you did in RE3 that didn't make it to the final game?
Yeah, good question. I don't really know that. That's because I know we went into the studio, and again, 22 years ago, you'll have to forgive my memory, but
no, it's okay.
It's a long time. And I was there doing lines, but it was several pages of dialogue and lines. So there was probably stuff that wasn't used because they wanted probably different performances. They wanted different takes on the language. I think there's I don't know if anyone had played Resident Evil 3 to the extent of like this, but when you play, people will know this, but some of you who don't, if you come into the bar to have a conversation with me, and when you first come in, if Jill doesn't help Brad deal with the zombie, and you just leave the bar and come back in, my dialogue is different.
How come?
Than if you helped me. Did you know that? Anybody know that?
No. I mean, I know that if you don't,
I delivered two different performances. So sandwich here.
Sandwich. Yes, you have. So it's yes, she has. So it's not because the only
Jill sandwich.
the only line.
Two different dialogue performances. Yeah.
The one I'm used to is the one where he goes, "I didn't know you were still alive, Jill." Like that one. Yeah. So it's a different one.
Yeah,
wow.
There's a different one. And it's so similar.
Wow.
That you would miss it if you're not paying attention. But I think I say something like.
Would you address Nemesis?
The police weren't trained for this kind of situation. What can they do?
Yes.
And then the next one is,
listen,
the police weren't trained for this kind of situation.
It's coming
what can anyone do?
Yes. Instead of what could they do? What can anyone do? Oh,
anyone. And the reason why he says not what can anyone do is because Jill doesn't help him, so he's even more hopeless.
Dude.
He's even more hopeless because Jill didn't help him out.
Wow.
So what can anyone do? You can't do anything either.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I mean?
Not even my teammate. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So they put in like small things like that. So there were I think a few of the things in my performance I gave two different readings for a few things, but again, as you know, my scene is not that big. My part is not that big, unfortunately.
I'm gonna drop a poll in the chat. I'm gonna go, do we help Brad? Yes? No, I want chat to decide whether I should help Brad or not. See what outcome we're gonna get.
Yeah, well, this is it. Like, okay, here's the thing. What performance did you always hear before, Kemi? You said you've only known a certain way, right?
Yes, I know the one where he goes in that specific moment. Yeah, she goes, it's coming for us. Listen, he's coming for us. You'll see he's after SARS members. There's no escapes. Was before that, right?
I think the main dialogue change is that the police says the police are here. What can they do?
Yeah,
and then the change of performance is what can anyone do? So what you should do is go in, see Brad start to fight the zombie, and then go back out, leave.
People in chat actually want me to help Brad.
What?
I just threw a votation.
But if you help me, you're gonna hear what you always hear, because I think for the most part, almost everybody that I know has saved Brad. Like they help him fight the zombie, right? When they first come in, they're like, "Oh my god, a zombie! Let me help kill him." So people help me all the time. I think try to kill that zombie. But if you don't help me, I'll say the different line.
All right, we'll walk in real quick. I know you said yes, Chad, but Evan doesn't want, so we'll do what Evan wants. So we won't help him and see what the line is. So give me a second. All right, here we go.
Everybody wants me to be helped. Very sweet.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's because we like you, Evan. All right, here we go.
Yeah. there's me getting bit.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Dead aim. A good shot right here. Look at that.
Do I chill here?
Just leave. Just leave.
Leave? All right, I'll leave.
Leave. Don't help.
All right.
Just leave the bar.
Okay.
Oh, did you leave?
Yeah.
No. You didn't leave in time.
No? Oh, well.
I don't think so. Let's see what he says.
Brad, why isn't someone doing something about this?
No one's trained to handle this kind of situation. What can anyone do?
What's
There
different?
you go. You see how angry I was?
Yes.
He's coming for us. We're both gonna die.
What are you saying?
You'll see.
Wow, I was so much angrier for that performance. I don't
He's
remember
after
that. What
Stars
can
Wars.
anyone
There's
do?
no escape.
There's no escape. Yeah, piss Brad. That's what.
Yeah.
It's definitely a piss Brad.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
need help.
I've never seen that before. Yeah. In matter of fact, I did leave. It's just as you press the door, she doesn't leave in time because the cutscene gets
Okay, I
triggered.
was confused by
Yes.
that for a second. But yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen you that angry in my life,
No,
Evan.
no, that's
Okay.
angry Brad.
Yes. Okay.
Because
Well,
no one helped him. He had to deal with that zombie. I mean,
yeah.
let's be clear. I can deal with a zombie by myself, no problem. Okay,
Yeah.
not an issue. Brad's
All
a badass. He's a chicken heart, which is just not really a chicken heart. He's just smart.
No,
But
yeah,
everyone-
he is. He is.
Everyone else used their bullets first.
Yeah.
Let them be in front first. I got the back. I got more bullets.
As I make my way to the police station, I have Jill Sandwich asking, I still want to know why he gave Brad the southern accent. That's Jill Sandwich question.
Southern accent?
Yeah. She said that?
A Southern American accent?
I don't know, Jill Sandwich, Bree? What kind of southern accent? He sounds southern, she says.
Yeah, but Southern what? Southern Chili?
I don't
Southern
know.
American.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Southern Canada?
Yeah.
Don't forget I'm Canadian. If I sound American, here's the thing, and that's probably, it might not be wrong. I didn't really put a Southern accent.
American.
I'm-
American, she
if I was
says.
Yeah. If I was going to make it in a Southern American accent, it'll be kind of like this a little bit, right? I mean, you know what I mean? It's not exactly the same. I can't get it to an American accent. Don't even get it. I can. American is actually one of my favorite ones to do, the Southern American, because you can make fun of that. You can have fun with that kind of accent down there. You know, it's a real lot of fun thing to do. But I didn't do that. It's just that in theater school, we're always told while we're, oh my God, look out, watch out for the knee biters.
I will.
I was always told, we were always told that, you know, Canadian actors won't get as many acting jobs if they can't figure out how to get rid of the Canadian accent. So a lot of it, especially when I was much younger, coming right out of theater school, there probably was a twang that we were always being conscientious of as a Canadian actor, because as a Canadian actor, you know, we want to say about, you know, no doubt about it, no doubt about it, eh? No. There's a famous commercial about that, no doubt about it. But we talk with our mouths very closed, Canadians, and you know, we talk like this, eh? And so like it's kind of like really lazy, you know. And up north in Canada, they kind of talk like that. So in order to get cast, you have to sound American. So, you know, you have to make all the sounds kind of flat a little bit, just American sounds. And that's just, it makes you sound like you have a slight accent if you get carried away with it.
Dorito said that I should like restart the game and try and help you see what the line comes out like. So I'll do that in a second. But before that, we're about to see Brad waving us goodbye. So, here's...
Oh, is this where I die? Okay, if I
Yes.
die, I'll see you guys later.
Yes. This is, as I was telling you earlier, this is where a lot of us got... So this is where you get the actual horror of what this title is all about. Because, you know, zombies, you dealt with that, RE1, RE2, but all of a sudden, you have this gigantic thing right in front of you, and it fucking kills Brad like in 3 seconds. I mean, Jill didn't help,
Yeah.
okay? But,
It's
you know...
quite horrific, yeah.
Yeah. So, this is...
And a lot of people have problems with this, because I know there's like there's remake, and then there's this.
Yes.
And as far as people have two different opinions about who died better. Well, I'm sorry. I can tell you right now, I died better.
You did. You
Yeah,
did.
I died more epically. I died more horrifically.
Yes.
Nemesis became a much more crazy, devastating character because of the way he kills an innocent Brad, right? It's
I think I speak on behalf. I think I speak on behalf of everybody here when I say that we were all upset when Brad didn't die to Nemesis in the remake. We were all looking forward to seeing that in HD, 2020 graphics, but that didn't happen. So
it would have been spectacular with the modern graphics to see Brad die in Nemesis's hands. I understand that they probably were like, well, we shouldn't put a long tentacle and kill him in through his mouth. That's a little hypersexualized. Maybe that's what they were thinking.
Yeah.
But the thing about going in through the mouth, and there's a lot of other famous movies that kind of do stuff like this. Like, it's just that our orifices are very, very sacred and sensitive things. And when you start putting knives in our mouths or guns in the mouths, how many guns in the mouths do you see in the movie? It's because it's a very vulnerable spot, right? And the whole idea of the tentacle going into the mouth, it wasn't meant to be sexualized, perhaps. I think it was meant to be just extremely horrific, violent, and the character is so vulnerable, and it's invasive beyond compare, right? Something being like, waterboardings and like horrible things happen with the mouth. So I think it was just done to really accentuate the horror and to really kill your sense of hope of that you're ever gonna beat this thing.
One thing,
it's so devastating.
One thing that you realize in the RE3 remake, though, that I think, again, I speak on behalf of everybody or most of you, is the fact that there's the lieutenant is called Marvin Brana, and he's a good character. We all like him. And, every time you see him in the police station with Leon and Claire, he's already wounded, and then he dies. But we never knew what happened to Marvin. And it is in RE3 remake that you see what happens to him. And it was zombie Brad, so after Nemesis, right? He becomes a zombie Brad. And what he does is he comes towards Marvin, and he's the one who gets Marvin wounded. So it was Brad's fault that fucked Marvin. I'm not sure if you knew that, but that's what happened on RE3 remake.
Yeah, I've seen the videos. I haven't played the game, but I've watched because someone was like telling me how Brad dies in the new one. I didn't like how he dies in the new one. I'm sure that what they were trying to do is redeem Brad, but here's what I really don't understand. How is he not redeeming in the first game? Brad was trying to lead the monster away from Jill. He was trying to go to the RPD, trying to find a better weapon, and he was playing cat and mouse with Nemesis. In my imagination, Nemesis tried to kill him 3 or 4 times leading up to where he was, right? That injury that he has on the stomach when he's leaning over and he comes in.
Yeah.
It's because of Nemesis. He's already encountered it a few times. He's escaped a few times. He got the idea that he had to go to the RPD because he remembers that maybe they had like some kind of RPG there, or at least grenades or something, or maybe like a SWAT weapon. So he was heading there, and I don't think he was expecting Jill to be there, and that's why he was surprised when he sees Jill.
Yeah, he goes. We got that
surprise.
Yeah,
right?
we got to in there, and then Nemesis happened.
Yeah, so I think what he was doing was trying to lead the monster away from from Jill and the rest of the teammates and everything, and try to kill it himself. So I don't know how that cannot be redeeming. Is that he's actually trying to kill the monster, trying to lead it away from everybody else. That's my opinion. But the new remake looks amazing. I will play it one day.
Yeah, I mean, you play the character. I agree with you. Okay, so we'll get Nemesis passing away, and then next thing we'll do is we'll restart the game and we'll help Brad see what happens. Okay. So first things first. Brad.
Let me answer Foxhound Cats.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Buckle up.
Miserable.
Jill! Brad! We've got to...
I just want to know where Nemesis is jumping down from. Mind you, he does stand on top of like rooftops and shoot helicopters down, right? Horrible. Oh, look how violent. I just got thrown like a piece of wet meat on the ground. And then now you gotta fight, right? You gotta fight Nemesis while I'm lying dead on the ground there.
You get to choose. I'm gonna get inside the police station, so I won't die here. But you get to choose. Yes. And there you are. And we are gone.
But I've seen people survive that scene. They just
You
gotta
can, you
knock them
can.
out.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can,
you
you can.
just knock out Nemesis. You've done
Absolutely.
it with knives. I've seen speedruns.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna-
Have I seen
Go for it.
Resident Evil? Welcome to Raccoon City. No, that's the short answer. Foxhound, I have not seen Welcome to Raccoon City. I think it's because I just wasn't really going out to the movie theaters, to be honest, because of COVID and all that stuff. But I mean, ironically, I work at a movie theater. I'm the one that checks the passports for you to come into the movie theater. I work at like Toronto's oldest movie theater, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
It's like built in 1912, so it's a really cool old theater. But I didn't go and see it, and I think I'm just gonna wait for it because I know isn't it the Sony project? Probably just wait for it to come out on the PlayStation. They could probably rent it, and then I'll just watch it that way. And I'll have an opinion then. But everyone seems to have very, very, very strong opinions about this movie.
I think you can find this on Prime Video, and I think I've seen. I might be wrong. Did you see that, guys? I've seen the IG page for the movie, which they posted yesterday or the day before yesterday, that it's now available to stream on Prime Video. I could be wrong. I think I saw that. I don't know. Did you guys see that? I think it's on Prime Video since
Prime
yesterday.
Video?
Yeah, Prime Video. Yeah.
Yesterday, already mounted.
Oh, it is? Okay, cool. Well, there you go. There you get to see it. So, Buddy Chris here asks, Evan, what is your favorite save room theme from the games?
Save room themes from the game.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna embarrass myself here. I think after I died in the game, I maybe played a little bit, and then back then it just got too hard for me. So I actually will eventually stream myself. I will do a stream. I'm upgrading my internet. It's coming in on Tuesday. And I have the PS3. I guess I have Resident Evil, the modded version for the PC that people gave me, but I'm not sure if my PC can handle it. But I do have a capture card, and I have a PS3. So on my PS3, I have Resident Evil 3.
While you're at it, guys, if you go !Brad in chat, you'll have access to all of Evan's socials, so you can follow him. Yeah.
So my Twitch account is all like set up. It's not really. I mean, I'm going to get more help on the setup.
Yeah.
Because there's much more things I want to do with stream elements and setting up and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I've got other people who are like, we're not going to bother you, just you, Cammy. Don't worry. But I've got like a part of a costume that I'm working on for the cosplay, and I'm just going to kind of roughly dress as Brad. For a live stream of me playing Resident Evil 3, where I hope everybody helps me get through it, because I haven't finished the game. So I don't know all the save room songs. That's my point, and that's why I'm embarrassed to say
We'll all be there, right, guys? Yeah. Matter of fact, Evan had
I'll tell you which one my favorite song is for the...
Evan, he did... When was it that you went live from your phone? Was it 3 days ago?
Yeah, I just was doing a chat. Like, here's the thing. Like, I have to get used to streaming. Yes. I'm okay when people are talking to me and I've got people asking me questions. But I mean, in a Foxhound cat, she streams, and like a lot of people stream. But I don't have that natural, comfortable level of being by myself in my room here by yourself. And it's a shift of consciousness that you are being observed by people you can't see. Right, in a theater, you feel the presence of 300 people. Right?
That makes sense.
When you're standing there on the stage. And same thing for film. When you're filming a scene, you got the whole crew around you. Right, there's like 60 people, like makeup, hair design, lighting, all that stuff, and everyone's got a job, and you got a job, and so you're used to that energy around you. It's a distinctly different thing when you are disconnected from any kind of human energy around you to act. Or even perform or even do anything. And
that makes sense, actually. Yeah.
And to be oneself is even more of a sort of exploration that I think most people don't get a chance to do.
Yes.
And streaming is interesting because I think it could do both things. I think it could damage you mentally. And I think it could do something really good for you to get you outside of your shell. The reason why I say damaging is because it's not you interacting with a person right there with their energy, the real live human being with you. But it's fascinating. There's so many people who are alone, you know, and they're just bored, and their friends can't come over and play video games like they used to. I used to have friends when I was younger come over and play games on my couch with me.
Yes,
that's gone,
everything's
right?
changed.
So,
Yeah,
so like the reason why I want to get into streaming is because I've got like 500 games, and like literally, and I want to be able to play my games with new friends and enjoy that time, right? Just hanging out, playing games with people.
I think Magnus would like some.
Has your game turned off? I'm only on full screen up here now by myself on Discord.
No, I am still going. So you cannot see the game anymore?
No, yeah, this game's gone. I'm just me, full screen.
All right, hold on. Yeah, for some reason it did.
I can't see your game if you're playing, is what I'm saying. But
yeah,
I can see the chat. I can see the chats.
Yeah. All right, there you go. Can you see it now?
No, not yet. It's not too important.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's just, yeah, now it is. Hold on, let me get rid of this one. All right. You're not seeing it. All right, hold on. Weird.
It's okay. You know what? Like, it's okay. I don't see the game. I died. I saw me die.
But we'll see again.
I don't even have enough time to hang out with you all day. I have to go up. I'm traveling up north to go see my friends for.
Yeah. All right.
So I'll be leaving shortly to.
Okay.
On the
All right.
train.
All right. So we'll see this one more time. Yes, in the bar. We are making it there soon. You know. So Magnus was asking for some piece of advice of yours, I think. He goes, "Hey, Brad, so I have a question. So I did a gameplay commentary of another game, but the video I did, not even like it, because my voice was so shy and awful. I think it's not the same, but the actual, pardon, sorry, that was Spanish. But in actually your lines, did they get difficult to make your nail them pretty fast? Oh, I think like, yeah, how hard is it for you to?
I think I understand the question. It's okay if you feel that your own performance is shy and awful. Everyone hates their own performance. Everyone doesn't like their own voice a little bit. It's kind of like that. Like I used to hate my voice for years and years and years. All of you might have liked my voice. I didn't like my voice for years and years and years, and that's the truth. And so there's a thing, I don't know, it's a Portuguese thing, to be honest, but maybe it'll translate for you guys. And maybe I have this wrong. I read this in the book, and when I read it in the book, it made perfect sense to me. And that is that, you know, there's this thing that we call embarrassment. And embarrassment is essentially like if you wanted to get up on stage and you dress like a rock star, you know, you put on the bandanas and you tease your hair up and you get all dressed like a rock star, but you've never been in front of an audience and you've never played your instrument in front of an audience, and you get up on stage, this is just a costume. It's not going to help you get through. And what I mean by through is this. Embarrassment, the word embarrassment comes from the word embaraço in Portuguese, I think.
Yeah, that's not Spanish. That's as far as I can tell you.
Latin language.
So, by the way, Evan, you should be able to see the game. You need to go to watch stream on Discord. It is being streamed, I promise. I am right by the bar. Yes, you should be able to see that.
No, all I see is my screen.
Are you sure? It says I am sharing my screen with you.
I don't know what's happened. It's but you know what? Here's the weird thing: is like I don't see the game on Twitch either. Like there's a black screen on Twitch.
Ah, well, that's probably your internet acting up, I would say.
No, I did nothing. I did nothing.
No, I trust you. It's just everything looks fine this end. Well, I'll tell you what he says. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, all right.
I can read the chat though. Okay.
But okay.
As long as people can see me and hear me, I think that's the cool thing.
Yeah. No,
but the embarace is the logs in a river system. It's the logs that the loggers put in place to stop all the other logs from flowing down the river. So the embarace is just a chain of logs that block all the other logs from going down the river. And the idea of the embarace is that the logs can't go under the embarace. The logs can't go over it or around past the banks of the river. So there's no way for the logs going down the river to get through this embarace. without going through it. They have to go through the other logs. You have to break through. And so embarrassment's the same thing. And when you're feeling shy and you're awkward about your voice, is that you have to understand that it's going to take practice at going through the embarrassment. You can't cheat your way to success. You can't cheat your way to appreciating your voice and your work. You have to actually keep doing it. You have to actually go through the embarrassment of the situation, allow yourself to be embarrassed, but keep going forward. Like everyone's going to be embarrassed. Everyone's going to be awkward. Everyone doesn't like their voice. Everyone doesn't think they're worse. But you never are going to be as good as you think you are from the first time you do it. You just got to keep doing it despite yourself. That's the only advice I can give you. So you hate yourself now? Great. Forget about it. Keep going. Hate yourself all you want. Think you suck? Great. I suck. Great. Doesn't matter. Embarrassment can only be gone through. So you have to do it. You have to go through it. And it's going to be uncomfortable. And acting's the same way. You don't just stand up on a stage and you're a brilliant star. It just doesn't happen. Most movie stars become famous after 10 years of hard work, of embarrassing work, of embarrassing themselves. Right? And as actors, we have to be vulnerable and we have to show who we are as a person. Allow people to see all the things that we hate about ourselves. And we still bring them forward. We still allow ourselves to be incredibly disgusting or incredibly hopelessly in love and let people see what that looks like. You know, it's embarrassing. Acting is embarrassing because you're showing parts of your soul that you don't want people to see, really. But you have to. And the only way to do that is by getting up on that stage or getting in front of a camera or writing down a piece of script and just keep allowing yourself to go through embarrassment, and you'll make it on the other side, but it's gonna take perseverance. Like you gotta want it, and you want to keep pursuing it, and you gotta trust that time will take care of it, right? As long as you do your work, time will take care of it. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. I mean,
long-winded, but it's really important.
No, it is.
Answer that properly.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I was gonna say that the game, you were right, it crashed or something, so but we can see you, what matters.
Yes, it wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
Yeah.
So all right, I'll ask like two final ones, and then I'll let you go if you have to go.
I gotta get going soon. Yeah.
Yes. In fact, actually, if you wanna tell them about your pirate show, because I really like that, you can tell them about that. Your pirate show you have on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have my own YouTube channel with my friend. We during the pandemic when it started, we just were bored. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. You know, we're locked up. Then we got the rules, and the rules said that we can still go outside, you know, but we just can't be around in gatherings of more than 10 people, if you could believe that. So that was the height of the pandemic when it first started. And my friend and I were just watching YouTube. I was watching YouTube at home, and I saw someone doing something called magnet fishing, which is taking a large magnet on a rope and throwing it into the water, usually the harbor front, and then seeing what would be pulled up by the magnet. And mostly it's garbage that you're pulling out of the water. But that being said, you're doing something environmental. You're cleaning up the waterways of your city or the countryside, depending where you are. But the other aspect of it is that it's like treasure hunting. And we've pulled out some really interesting things on our show. And we've even found a safe underneath a bridge. And recently, this last summer, we found, and in Toronto, it's hard to imagine because this city is very safe. We found 5 long guns that seemed to be about 50 years old. So some really cool old hunting rifles. I think the one I pulled out was a Remington Model 8. And they started making those in 1914 or something like that. Something ridiculous. Yeah.
Imagine that's
over
100 years.
Imagine if mine was from 1914.
Yeah.
The thing is, the police have them right now. So we can't get our hands on them. But so we started the YouTube channel. We called it Sludge Pirates.
There's a link, you guys.
Sludge is the like the mud. We're like pirates. We're just stealing from the mud. So it's just like Sludge Pirates. And we do a show every week on YouTube. Well, it's just me and my friend going out into the city, and we film when we happen to catch anything cool or get the garbage, and we just banter and we have fun with it. It's more of a hobby thing. It was like a hobby show. It's a lot of fun to do, and we're outside by the water all the time.
It's fun because you can never know what they are pulling off the water. It's like it's a mystery. It's really yeah.
This one here.
And we'll get back to your T-shirt. We'll get back to your T-shirt, okay? Yeah.
Brad Vickers, Brad Vickers too. Yeah. I'm a nerd. I made that for myself. No one made that for me.
No, come on. All right, yeah.
Anyway, so this here's one of the knives that I found. I caught, and this knife is a leather handle here, and it was probably in the water maybe about 20-30 years, I guess, and it was found in a river. Just, not in the big inner core of the city, but just slightly outside of it. And the thing about this knife is that, it's just like, it looks like a regular hunting knife to some people, but nobody really, if you really look at it carefully, it has a brass hilt. This hilt is brass.
How do they do it, right?
A lot of knives are made with brass hilts. So that was a unique thing. Yeah. And I put it on a knife form because it does have a stamp in it. The maker's mark is in there. Can't really quite see it. It's not very easy to see, but the maker's mark was in there, hardly legible at all because it's been in the water so long. But I did some research on a knife form, and everyone said, yeah, that's so-and-so made that. And it's like, what? So-and-so? And it was a custom knife maker that was making knives in the 50s and the 50s to the 70s. And he was making custom fighting knives for Vietnam soldiers and the Korean War soldiers. And the fighting knives, they're usually much longer. This is seems to be like just a basic hunting knife. His other knives are like, the blades are this long, and they're meant for killing, I suppose. They're made for Vietnam vets. And I forgot his name exactly again. It's not on the tip of my tongue. But he was an American knife maker, and he was living in northern Mexico. It was an expat, and that's where he was making his custom knives for all these soldiers. And the fact that this knife was in the Mississauga River here in Toronto is remarkable because it came from northern Mexico, and these knives are rare. They're rare as all hell. He wasn't like, he made these by hand. He wasn't like pumping out knives like a major factory. These were all custom made. And the fact that I found one of them in a river while magnet fishing, most of the time I was pulling out fish hooks.
That's treasure. It's really cool. No, I agree. So I guess the starts thingy in the back. What is it? Is it like a decoration there? Card?
That?
Yeah, that. What's that?
Oh, that's a Stars patch.
Patch. Oh, okay, for your T-shirt. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Stars patch, because I was thinking that,
yeah, the cosplay.
If I found myself a piece of clothing,
yeah.
I would just put an iron on, but I can stitch it on too.
So everybody in chat.
My first one, first piece of Resident Evil stuff. I don't have any Resident Evil stuff. So.
Everybody in chat, me included, we all love your T-shirt, and I mean it when I say once you get your streams going and fluent and you're all set, there's a feature on Streamlabs where you get to create your merch and you get to sell your merch. So we all, yes, we'll get one.
Here's the thing. I don't know enough about what's going on with this. As everybody knows, this is original artwork from the Resident Evil game, right?
I want that.
This is Brad when he's standing there and he's holding his
helmet. with your face. It's really smart.
I put my face on it because I am Brad. That is me.
You guys, I did the
voice of it. So I put this thing together, but I don't know if I'm legally allowed to make money with it. That's the thing. I don't know if it's gonna get me in trouble copyright-wise because I'm using the original artwork.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, it's fair use because I put my face on it and it's a parody. It's fair use, but fair use doesn't allow you to make money.
That's right.
So what I'm planning on doing for this is just finding my own artist to reproduce it as best we can, like to reproduce it almost exactly, but with a different artist doing it who I've paid the commission for.
Yes.
And then I won't have to worry about making sure that it's not a copyright issue with the original artist.
Capcom.
So, Capcom in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So
but I can either that or I'll just make them and I'll sell them until they send me a lawyer saying cease and desist.
I'll get one. I promise.
Limited edition.
Yeah. And I'll get one. So I'm really grateful, Evan, and I really appreciate the fact you stopped by. We all are. you know how much these games means to us. We are always, you know, following actors and actresses because we really love your work. So thank you so much for your art, for your performances, for taking the time for being here. You're awesome. And yes, grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much. For real.
Yeah, no worries, bud. Okay.
Yeah. So,
well, signing off. Bye, everyone. I want to say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah.
Sandwich, Major Borscht,
Magnus,
Cat, Magnus, IT
Yes.
Wolf. Thank you so much, all of you. If I'm missing anybody, it's obviously just because I'm not.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm really.
And Zorito there.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in for the stream. Very awesome. Stay tuned for my own stream. Follow me on Twitter.
Go follow. Yeah.
All that stuff, and take care of yourselves. New Year's is around the corner, is it not? Are you not in New Year's Eve soon? We all are, right?
Yeah, it's
We're
3 PM for me, but yeah, it's almost there. So
everyone, everyone stay safe.
Yeah, this is such a great way of waving 2021 goodbye with, you know, you here being here. So this is awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, you too. Bye. Bye. Bye.